Hi everyone, Chillax here and welcome back to another Anchor Panic video. So today we will be doing a complete build guide on Dawn, who is the ice striker who you see before you. The structure of this video will be as follows. First we'll go over whether to select her on the beginner's banner. We will go over her kit, her signature sigil, her optimal model sets, her optimal remodel stats. We'll go over her signature sigil and powers, as well as alternative SSR sigils, and then wrapping things up with an advanced arena showcase. So without further ado, let's begin. Now, as many of you know, the version 1.7 is out right now, and you have the opportunity to summon for the limited time operator Frostjade, who is an excellent ice healer who everyone should summon for. This is the perfect time for new players to either start their account, or for older players to basically get a fresh start on a brand new account. If, say, you messed up your current account, or if you somehow missed out on the Abyss Elysia limited time banner, I think it makes a lot of sense that as a good partner for Frostjade, you select Dawn on your beginner's banner. And as you can see on the very right, in a couple days Karnus's rerun banner will expire and Alice's banner will rerun. So say in a situation where you get an early pull on Frostjade as well as her signature sigil, and you want to start building your lightning team for whatever reason, you can always summon on Alice if you want to have both Alice and Dawn for whatever reason. So that's there. And I do think Dawn is the better choice over Merlot, because Merlot, even though she is a decent fire striker, fire as an element is not really viable right now, given that they don't have a dedicated healer besides maybe Grenache, and they are arguably the fourth strongest element behind lightning, quantum, and now ice. So that's the consideration with that, with regards to whether to pull on Dawn or to go for Alice on the beginner's banner. Now we will go over her skill kit, and one thing I want to point out right away is that, kind of like Ukali, she is opposite front row, which means that she has unique targeting in which she will lock on to the enemy directly opposite from her in the front row. This is noteworthy because most operators will target the frontmost enemy, and if you climb high enough in, say, like normal arena or advanced arena, you know that a lot of people will put their tankiest operator in the frontmost position in order to soak up enemy hits. So you can actually position Dawn, say, like in the middle, and maybe towards the back behind a solid defender. That way she can hone in on a squishier operator in the middle front lane, if you will. So I want to point that out. And then just going over her skills. So her talent 1, basically her kit revolves around getting stacks of bravery, which increases her ice damage by 6% up to 4 stacks. And because of this talent, she is one of those operators who in the beginning she won't do as much damage as a traditional DPS, but as time goes on she will get stronger and stronger, and then by rounds 2 or 3 she ends up hitting pretty hard. And then for her talent 2, when attacking a primary target with HP above 60%, she immediately gains 1 stack of bravery. So this is a way for her to really ramp up those bravery stacks, and given that most operators will be at full health on round 1, this is her opportunity to get a jump start on that. And then her skill is fairly straightforward, single target attack. And then her energy burst, she will deal ice damage to enemies within a 3x3 grid, dealing X amount of damage, as well as additional ice damage to the primary target equal to 35% of her attack times the number of stacks of bravery. So as you can imagine, by rounds 3 or 4, or by round 4, her energy burst hits really hard if the battle happens to last that long, which can be quite useful, especially in PvE game modes on Union Siege or Entropy, where you're trying to min-max your score. Yeah, and if memory serves me right, I don't think these bravery stacks expire. Yeah, they don't have a time frame, so this makes Dawn an excellent single target and multi-target damage dealer as the battle draws on. And then going over her signature Sigil, it provides ice damage as well as crit damage, and when equipped by Dawn, each stack of bravery increases her defense penetration, which is her way to bypass enemy defenses to do true damage on the enemy. And then when attacking frozen targets, let's say you pair her up with Dawn or Lang Jiao, who's capable of freezing the target, it increases the bravery effect by 30%. So instead of doing like an extra 6% ice damage, you would 30% of that, so it's like almost an extra 2% ice damage per bravery stack if you have her signature Sigil. So now let's go over her optimal model set. So as you can see before you, I have her on 4-piece ice and 2-piece attack. I think this is the most optimal set. I can't imagine any other set you would consider on her, given that she's not a breaker and you don't typically build her defensively, especially given that Frost Jade has a cheat death mechanic with her energy burst frost domain. And as for remodel stats, try to pick up, I would try to make her fast 6 out of 6 speed, and then dump the rest into as many crit rate stacks, crit damage, and then the rest into base attack and attack as possible. I ran out of remodel resources, otherwise I'd fine-tune her more, but as you will see in the Advanced Arena Showcase, she still does a lot of damage if you partner her up with other operators, notably Frost Jade, who is able to boost her crit damage. So that's the model sets for you. Now, in terms of specific stats to look for slots 4, I recommend speed, slot 5 crit rate, and then slot 6 will be crit damage. I think this is pretty non-negotiable. Better to have her fast than to have more HP on her. And then for remodel stats, I already discussed that. For signature Sigil and powers, I would say hands down it's going to be speed, crit rate, crit damage. I would say crit rate from an offensive perspective is the most important, followed by, say, crit damage, defense penetration, and ice damage. I think those are the 5 premium stat lines to look for when re-rolling your empowers. And then if you happen to not own her signature Sigil, which I think will be the case for free-to-play players, there's some excellent alternatives. I would lean towards one of the 2 SSR crit rate sigils. So Arrival of the Outsider is my personal favorite, especially on a nice team where you can apply debuffs on the enemy, such as Frozen status with Lang Jiao. And then another excellent alternative would be Great Furnace, which it provides crit rate as well as the ability to do extra damage. And if you don't own either of the 2 crit damage ones, like Falling Monolith and the other one, Whale Echo, will be pretty good. Yes. Okay, so now let's do an Advanced Arena Showcase. Alright, and I just did an attack earlier against my guildmate. I'm beating him up so much, I'm sorry. But I was quite pleased with the performance. We managed to beat a mono lightning team, which is kind of wild. Actually, I should probably discuss the team real quick. Basically, the idea is that you hide the 2 squishy DPSs behind 2 tankier units. Now, mind you, neither Lang Jiao nor Frost Jade are tanky, But typically for Frost Jade, if you are building her for PvP, you will go 4-piece block rate, 2-piece Raging Wave to enhance her survivability, because if she goes down, the Frost domain goes down, and obviously you have no more healer. But some people in a PvE setting are building her on 4-piece Raging Wave. 4-piece Raging Wave, and then 2-piece either attack boost for more bursty heals, or either 2-piece HP or 2-piece block rate for more defensive capabilities. One way or the other, at A0, Frost Jade will give you a cheat death, and most normal players will only pick up a KO on round 1, not more than that. So that ensures that the entire team is intact. Of course, if you have an A3 or higher Antelope, that's the reason I brought her, because she's one of the few operators besides Flicker who's able to shield on turn 1. However, because you likely will use Flicker on your dedicated mono quantum team, that's why I put Antelope on here. Yes. And then wrapping things up, so if you are starting the game, you might not have Ukali, so you can replace her with either Abyssal, who is an icebreaker, who can lower the enemy's ice resistance, or you can go with Core, who is a rare icebreaker, who also lowers the enemy's ice resistance. Either of those will be an excellent alternative to Ukali if you don't have her. But if you own all these operators, I do think that this is the most optimal advanced arena team for Dawn until Plenilune comes out, which could be as early as the next update. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Now in this showcase, I happen to match up against Abyssalicia, and Abyssalicia will end up picking up 2 KOs. But if you haven't on round 1, however, because Frost Jade at A3 can revive 2 operators if she gets her Frost domain off before the KO. So for this reason, this team does work out especially well, even against turn 1 Abyssalicia energy bursts, assuming that you have an A3 Frost Jade. Okay. So, so far so good. Because Frost Jade can apply crit damage boost to all ice operators, so Ukali and Dawn end up doing a lot of damage, even though for both of these operators I don't have them optimally built yet, because my remodels resources, I've exhausted them. Yeah, so as you can see here, both of my frontmost units entered the ice state because they both got KO'd by Abyssalicia. Now I freeze with Lang Jiao. And if you have a 4-piece of the effect accuracy for Frost Jade, you can freeze a lot of enemies, on average at least 3. In this case I ended up freezing all of them, which is kind of insane. Alright. And yeah, so we're wrapping things up right now. Ukali and Dawn together is quite a powerful combination. I think we pretty much wiped out all the enemies by the end of round 2, or almost all of them. Yeah, and then now it's round 3. As you can see, this is a very... You would not imagine that we're going against some mono lightning team. And I haven't even finished building Dawn yet. Her Sigil's only level 72. I ran out of remodels, so I only got like 2 lines of crit rate. But Dawn is doing so much damage from all the bravery stacks and whatnot, and also being on a dedicated ice team. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found this informative. If you haven't already, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.